Now, if you've been watching our content here on the Marketing.Media.Money website on cnbc.com, you'll have maybe spotted one or two little patterns. One of it is, whilst we're here at Cannes Lion, the talk is of creativity, but also of data and numbers and how it all matches together. Well, one of the organisations that is very much in that bit of the field is Adobe. And Brett Wilson, why are you here?
Because we're in the south of France, But beyond that, we're here to meet clients. It's really tough to get time with busy CMOs, and when you can be in a location like this, the relationships are just really deep. So we're here talking about Adobe's proposition in advertising.
Now, you joined the company, you sold out your business around 7 months ago. Your role has very much changed. So what are you now focusing on as a business?
So I lead the advertising business at Adobe, and we offer advertisers basically a single tech stack to automate the planning and buying of their ads. So we essentially make it possible to do with a couple people what it used to take a couple dozen people to do.
So what are the issues that you're facing at the moment then?
Some of it is just making things easier. When you walk around Cannes and you talk to people about their big challenges, it's just there's so much coming at marketers right now. It's a ever more complex world. There's a lot of fragmentation of audience, and just helping marketers make sense of the madness by consolidating their ad buys and their ad planning through software is a lot of what we do. Helping advertisers understand what they're actually buying, where their ads are running, making sure that they always know where their money is going, and just bringing a level of transparency and trust back to advertising as well.
The T word, the transparency, the trust, has been something that's been bubbling away for the last few months, indeed the last couple of years. What's your opinion on all that?
It's difficult times as a marketer to know who to trust. I mean, the ANA came out with a report a couple of years ago that talked a lot about the misaligned incentives in the industry. And in advertising technology in particular, sometimes it's hard to know where the money's going. So what we do is we have a very clear value prop and business model for advertisers. We only work for them. We don't work for publishers. We have no incentive to shift their ad spend from one location to the other. So we're always just trying to do what's best for advertisers.
Marketers seem to be obsessing over data, figures. Doesn't that impinge on creativity?
I don't think so. I mean, I think one of the big conversations at every Cannes every year is technology taking the place of creativity. And most of the meetings that I'm in, CMO will say, how do we do this? And it all starts with a creative idea, and the technology just makes it happen. And the role of data, at least with respect to advertising, is just helping advertisers get the right ads in front of the right people, so that they can show different people, different creatives, so that they can reach people the right amount of times, but not too many times. And that's how we leverage data in advertising.
Where does this fit in? Where do you see digital marketing going? Have we kind of reached peak digital in the sense that there's still a role for out-of-home advertising, there's still a role for the cinema, TV? Do you think the market is going to continue to change over the coming years?
Yeah, absolutely. I think what is happening is we're spending more and more time as consumers, as people, on digital devices. So advertising usually follows the eyeballs. You mentioned OTT, or call it on-demand television. That's certainly taking off for publishers right now. But I think the real trend is every year there's a new media channel. And there's just been an explosion of media channels in the last few years, from social to over the top to digital. And so if you're an advertiser, you're trying to figure out just the simple problem of how do I get my message in front of the right people. It's really challenging right now. That's the problem that we try to solve.
There are concerns, like you say, about the transparency. Some of the flack has been pointed towards the likes of Google. What do you think the issue there is?
Well, I think the issue is Google is trying to be in the game and be a referee at the same time. So Google is a media owner. They own YouTube and Google.com, they own a lot of ad space, but they're also building software that is supposed to tell advertisers where to spend their dollars and then how effective those dollars were. We think that's a huge conflict of interest, and a lot of our value prop is being independent, not having a stake in the game, not creating our own homework.
But surely there is competition out there for you guys as well.
Of course, there's always competition, but the ad tech space has gone from a space that was characterized by a lot of small venture capital backed companies to a space of tech stacks. So I think you'll see more consolidation in the space, and generally I think the winners are emerging in ad tech right now.
You joined Adobe, you were independent, you were doing very well by all accounts. Why had you reached this sort of glass ceiling? What had happened?
Yeah, well, we never reached a ceiling. We were having trouble being a good public company and creating value for our shareholders. We had IPO'd the company in July 2014, and the company performed. We had quite a few beat and raises, but we were in a sector, that the ad tech sector, that was not loved by Wall Street. And
we should point out who you were CEO of.
Yes, more often than not, we'd have a great quarter, and the stock would go down. Now, initially, that was fine. We were in it for the long term, but after multiple quarters of that, we began to think, is it possible to be a great company and a bad stock? Should we look to be part of something bigger? And that really started the conversation with Adobe.
Still watching? Perfect. Click here to watch another great video from CNBC International. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching.